You may remember the outrage across Britain a couple of months ago when Boris Johnson was accused of throwing a secret party in the middle of lockdown, against his own COVID rules, by the way. But the truth is, there wasn't a secret COVID party. Turns out there were many secret COVID parties, and now Boris may have partied himself right out of a job.
And the walls seem to be closing in on Boris Johnson.
A new poll, in fact, for the Observer newspaper shows 63%, nearly 2 of every 3 Britons want Johnson out.
As many as 20 Conservative members of Parliament say they plan to submit letters of no confidence. 54 letters are required to trigger a no confidence vote in Parliament. Prime Minister Johnson has faced calls to resign after reports that number 10 Downing Street hosted parties over the past 2 years. The events were held when the United Kingdom government imposed strict COVID restrictions on gathering.
I recognise the enormous sacrifice that people have made. I apologise for misjudgments that may have been made in number 10 by me and anybody else, but please can I ask him to wait for the inquiry to conclude.
One misjudgment that really hurts: the apology to Her Majesty the Queen over parties allegedly held in Downing Street the night before Her Majesty sat alone at the funeral of her husband.
You know, this sucks for Queen Elizabeth. I haven't seen her that disappointed since she found out what Prince Andrew did on his vacations. Apparently, these are not the only photos, Andrew. And I can hardly blame her, you know? I mean, her husband had just died, and here they were throwing parties without her. I mean, come on, this is her first chance in 70 years to catch some fresh dick and no invites? Yo, that shit is messed up. Oh, you don't think people move on? You need to grow up. But you can see why so many people have turned on Boris over his scandal, because while he was having parties, the people of Britain were dealing with severe lockdowns. And I'm not talking about American lockdowns. I'm talking about real lockdowns. Like, there were curfews. The government limited how many people you could see. People weren't even allowed to have anyone over for Christmas. Yeah, if Santa came down your chimney, you'd have to shoot him dead. But they don't have guns in the UK, so you just have to beat him to death. And look, I know Boris isn't the only political leader who's been caught partying against his own rules, but he might be the only one trying to pretend that he doesn't know what a party is.
Prime Minister Johnson maintains he believed it to be an official work event, not a party.
Now, an email leak showing 100 people were invited to socially distanced drinks in Downing Street and to even bring their own booze.
The idea that you walked into the garden, there's 40 people there, the tables are laid out with food and drink, and there's alcohol being served in the middle of a lockdown, and you think that's a work event. That is just ludicrous, isn't it? You are just taking the mickey out of the British people by suggesting that.
Nobody told me, and nobody said that this was something that was against the rules, that was a breach of the COVID rules, or we were doing something that wasn't a work event.
Yeah, nobody told me. I didn't know it was a party. How do you know what a party is unless somebody says it's a party? How could you not know that that was a party? I mean, it's not a work event. They said bring your own booze. That never happens for a regular work meeting. No one's ever like, we really need to figure out our fourth quarter projections, so grab some tequila, because Daddy's making margaritas. And also, am I the only person who finds it weird that the leader of the government is the one saying, nobody told me that this was against the rules. Nobody told me. Nobody told you. They're your rules. Your rules to deal with a global pandemic. This isn't your kids' birthdays. You got to remember this shit. Now, Boris's own former top aide says that he did warn Boris that the party broke COVID rules, and that Boris has been lying under oath to Parliament about it. But maybe these parties are just emblematic of how Boris thinks COVID rules didn't apply to him. Like, apparently, back when Boris had COVID, he refused to stay in isolation, and it got so bad that his staff, and this is completely true, had to put chairs in the doorway to his office to block him from leaving. Yeah. Honestly, I was shocked when I read this. Mostly because I didn't know it was that easy to stop British people from going places. Turns out if Africa just put a couple of chairs in front of England, we could have stopped colonialism. So as of now, Boris is in big trouble, or as they say in England, trouble. And really, if you're a prime minister who's been breaking the lockdown rules that you imposed on everybody else, you have to resign. Or you can do this.
New this morning, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced the end of all pandemic restrictions in the United Kingdom, saying that people will no longer be asked to work from home, masks no longer required in schools, the mandate to wear masks in public removed as well.
According to The Guardian, the swift change is seen as an attempt by Johnson to quell Conservative anger over his lockdown-breaching parties at Downing Street.
Having looked at the data carefully, the Cabinet concluded that once regulations lapse, the government will no longer mandate the wearing of face masks anywhere.
Oh, shit! Boris went from BYOB to DGAF. You can't break the rules if there are no rules. That's right, everybody, no masks, everybody, no restrictions, and no more haircuts, bitches. And yeah, you could argue that suddenly lifting restrictions is just a cheap and dangerous attempt to curry public favor at the cost of spreading a lethal virus. But on the other hand, restrictions are lifted, baby. So break out the liquor, Britain. It's time for a work event.